Stephanie, I got you.
I got you.
You
Let's
got
do
me.
this.
Okay, let's do this. Holidays. Wow. We're we're here with December
The
and
holidays.
holidays right around the corner. And
So what are
you
you
know,
planning to do for holidays?
well, first of all, I think we should tell people a little bit about ourselves because we know that there are some people that are tuning in that know us,
Okay.
but there are other people who don't know us,
Right.
right?
Right.
And we just want to thank everyone who is taking a time out on this Saturday to visit with us and to tune in. My name is Dana Holmes,
I'm Stephanie Neal.
and welcome to Widow's Peak. So Widow's Peak, Stephanie and I decided to do this because we both have lost our spouses, and of my spouse of 24 years,
Mine's a 20.
and we know that there are people out there that feel the same way we do,
Right. Right.
and that are missing their spouses and are really trying to work through this process
Learning how
in
to
this
adjust to this new lifestyle.
in this journey.
Yes.
And I am so fortunate to have a friend in
Yes.
Stephanie
And Dana.
of 15 years
Yeah.
or more. And you've been such an inspiration to me. And
you.
I've been able to glean and talk to you about a lot of things that I have experienced.
As well.
And so we know we have each other, but we know there are other people out there that may not have someone.
Right. And your loss has been how many years?
My loss has been 1.5,
And mine's is 6 years. Okay.
and it never gets easy, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It never get easy. Yeah. So.
And so we have families, we have daughters. I have a granddaughter,
I have a daughter.
and we play those roles, those many hats, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Those many hats. So, as the holidays approach us, we was just talking to each other about what we're going to do for the holidays, and so I was talking to Dana, saying, I still have the triggers. I still have the memories, and even though it's been 6 years for me, it still have things that come up and make me think about my spouse, miss my spouse, even cry, But through it all, I'm still able to I'm able to get through it much better than I was the first year of the loss. So
Sure.
the triggers still do come.
Yes, and holidays is one of them. So that's why we thought it would be befitting that we label this holidays, DAZE,
Right.
because you are kind of in a daze, right?
Right.
You are living a little bit in the past,
Yes.
and you're remembering all those memories that you had with your family and your spouse, and you're also living in the present.
Right. Right.
So,
Adjusting.
and adjusting to the present. So what are some things that you do that help you through this time?
Cry. Cry and share. Like I was sharing with you, that does help the conversation. Because I was saying the other day when I was putting up my Christmas tree, I realized that he would be sitting down and he would put the tree together, and then I would do the decoration, and that thought came up, that trigger came up, just seeing him sitting over there in that chair, and he's not even there. So I went through the process, realized he's not here. I dropped a little tear and said, okay. And just moved on. But there was a time where I wasn't there, able to do that.
Right, right. Yeah, and so holidays for us, I have a 35-year-old. Yes, I do. And I also have a 15-year-old, that 20-year gap. And Z would always say, when we tell people that, he would always say we came out of retirement. Wonk, wonk, right?
Right.
And so for us, what we like to do, for years, we started doing things like giving them the gift of experience. And the gift of experience wasn't just some gift under the tree.
Right.
But we did trips, or we did adventures. And it was things that we wanted them to experience with us, and really actually also expand their horizons, right? And so I'm so glad that we started doing that, not knowing that he wouldn't be here. And so we have those memories, those pictures of us, skiing on dry land, I say. And also, tubing and Disney and all of those things and memories that we did so early with our kids.
Right. Yeah.
And now we have those memories.
Right.
And so I know Z would want me to continue. So continuing on with those experiences and giving our children that experience, as we move forward. But we do little things that remind us of him. And as we're on these adventures and trips, we always say, this is what Dad would have done.
Right.
I called it the 2.0. So I would plan holidays or I would plan birthdays, but he would always supersize it.
Okay.
So we called it Z 2.0. Doing that, yeah. Right. And so, what are some things that you do to keep those memories going and stuff like that? Because,
I don't really focus on keeping the memories going because they just exist, if that makes sense. They just exist. Like I was saying, that it popped up about the putting up the tree, or me and my daughter, we could be in the kitchen getting things ready for the holiday when we pulling the boxes out, or her birthday, and it will just come up because she'll say, "Oh, Daddy would have said this," or "Daddy would have thought that," So I don't necessarily focus on one particular thing, but they just come. That's why I say the memories are the triggers, because the memories always exist. Yeah. Even with new memories, making new memories. That was one of the big things that I wanted to do with my daughter, was just to make new memories, because it's different versus me and her having her dad and my husband. Now it's just us, so we had to learn how to make new memories with us, but yet still keep him within that memory.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. And it's good to have support around, people who remember all the things that you guys did and everything that he did and what he contributed. And we have funny stories about Chuck with sharing them with Alana and Amira, and so we kind of keep that spirit and those spirits alive through those storytellings. And it helps when you have family members and friends around you as well.
Yes, it does.
That can do that. So sometimes you struggle with how much is it too overbearing for our children, right? Is it how much is too much to create those memories or keep bringing it up? Does it give them does it sadden them? You know what I mean? Sometimes you can be having a great day and I want to bring it up, and I'm like, I don't want to mess up her day or their day by bringing it up, and then they'll do it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what
and
I
they'll
learned.
bring it up.
I allow her to bring it up for the most part, because when she would bring it up, also let her know it's okay for us to still cry.
Yes.
And that's why I always say grieving doesn't have a time. And when she bring it up, we cry or whatever she wants to do, and then we move on.
Right. Yeah.
That's the big part. Move on.
Yeah. And then sometimes you can laugh through those tears as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, my children, they say things like, I just really like to focus on the good things, the good times. And it just, because we had so many great times, so many funny stories, so many fun times, it really, really helped to, it wasn't a struggle for us at all. Right. And so, so what do you do with in-laws? I am a little bit different because I have very few in-laws here in Texas with me. And so and our house was always the house that people came to for holidays and for various events. So, how is it? Because I know all of your in-laws are here in Texas.
Right. When my husband first passed, it was really, really, really hard, because that's our in-laws is where we went every holiday. We went over to his mother's house, and I'll go over to my mother's house. Now the situation has changed. My father-in-law is gone, my mother-in-law is gone, and my mother gone, and my father's gone. So we still have an aunt that's left on his side, but we always did the holidays over to my mother-in-law house. Right. And so once that shifted, we ended up going over to one of the cousins. So I struggled with, do we go? Do we not go? Because I wanted to go because they always incorporated me as a family. Even still now, they still include me. But I still felt like do I go? Do I still fit in? You know what I'm saying? That was something within myself.
Yeah.
But they always was still, you included, your family.
Same.
And with my daughter, I wanted to make sure that she still stayed connected.
Same.
Still stayed connected with her family.
Yeah.
That other side of the family as well. So that was the struggle as well, trying to make sure that she go and don't let me be a hindrance to her going.
Right. Yeah.
And so she ended up going, and we would go. Like I said, that first year, it was hard. We cried. I didn't really want to be around anybody, and she didn't either. But still, we made it through. So now it's better. It's a lot better.
Good.
Like I say, I don't have any in-laws left, but I do have other in-laws, like cousins and things like that. And we go over to their house, and now that my mom's gone, that's going to be a whole nother.
Yeah. And I'm sure people out there can understand and they can relate. You know, I'm sure they have some stories as well. For me, it's very much the same. I do have a few in-laws here, and my house is always open. You know, we just celebrated, I guess, Thanksgiving, and I had a few of my in-laws over, and most of my family and his family primarily are in the Northeast.
Okay.
And we just keep in touch. We do, FaceTimes and things like that, and Zoom calls on the holiday. But they are very much a part of our lives. They're very much a part of my daughter's lives. And that community is so important when you lose someone, especially someone that is directly related. I mean, attached to you as well as your children's, upbringing.
Right.
And that community, especially, if it's a male, I would say a husband, just them to have another male role model is important. And we've been blessed to have godparents. Godparents that, I mean, when we prayed about godparents and we chose these godparents, we didn't know that we were really going to have to use what a godparent, is. And I say we have been blessed tremendously with the godparents, godfather stepping up and playing that role for Erica and Amira.
So for me, it was a little different because Maya has godparents. Well, she has a god sister, and so my husband's brothers, especially her,
who look just like him.
his brother Mike, he stepped up. It took him a minute to me at the beginning because I think all of us struggled at the beginning of his loss, but he definitely stepped up and was an amazing uncle for her.
That's good. That's good.
So she did have that, and then she had a grandfather until he passed. So she did have some male figures that was available for her, supportive of her.
Amen.
And because that was one of the concerns that I had when he passed. Lord, who now?
Right, because I don't care what they say. A male role model for daughters, for women, is very, very important. And the blessing that we have is we had husbands who were Johnny on the spot, right? They were involved with everything from dance lessons to carpooling. All of those things, cooking,
Girl Scouts, think about all that stuff. Yes, he was there. So it was definitely a blessing to have her uncle step up.
Yes. Girl, I can just remember Zenorin doing this, the dance with Erica, teaching Erica how to do this spiritual dance to Yolanda Adams, and that was the funniest thing ever because he never took dance. So just he was involved in every aspect of our children's lives and teaching them to cook. And Amira is an amazing cook because of it, and just having that presence around, and now having, because my husband didn't have any brothers, and so that's where those uncles, that were very close to him, and they stepped up. And I won't say stepped up to say it was required of them, but that was just what they did.
They fell in.
They fell in, and they took that assignment seriously.
Yes. Yes, they did. They knew their assignment.
They knew their assignment, right? They knew their assignment like we knew ours.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And so as we move into these holidays, what plans do you have? Do you have plans to go away or are you staying home?
Well,